So as per request, this is a video, an instructional video of how to prepare bulletproof coffee using Frenchpress. Okay, first we show you all the materials. Of course, hot water, our Frenchpress, our fats, including cocoa MCT, virgin coconut oil, and of course about a tablespoon of butter, optional cocoa powder, our coffee, and cup. Okay, first we have to prepare the coffee or brew the coffee. Now for the coffee brewing process, I usually prepare around anywhere between 400 to 500 mils of coffee, and for that I would use around 1 2 3 and 4 tablespoons of choice of coffee bean, and I go on right over to pour the water into the coffee press. I know by heart that before the black plastic ends, so that's just right, just about 2 cups of coffee, or about 400 to 500 ml, something like that, which approximates to between grande and a venti sized Starbucks coffee. So I let it steep for a while, the coffee, for maybe about a minute or two before I go on to plunge the French press down. So after the steeping process is done, just plunge the coffee press down, and voila, we have our brewed coffee. So what I would do is I would just transfer the coffee that I've made to another cup, to a glass, okay, to accommodate the volume of the coffee until about the top. Okay, and the remaining beans and the small amount of coffee that remains, I'll just discard that. Okay, so there you go. And so after cleaning up the French press, removing the sediments and the small amount of coffee that remained, and rinsing out the French press, we have a clean French press here. So the next would be to mix all the ingredients together. Okay, so first thing to do would be to, of course, return the coffee, put the coffee back, the brewed coffee back into the French press. This is a tricky part, so don't, as such. Okay, spill. So we have the coffee back into the French press. So I typically add a little bit more water just to, make it back to around 500 mLs because of some coffee loss during the brewing process and the discarding process. So what we would do is just mix all the ingredients together, and this has to be done on based on personal preferences. So first would be the butter. Okay, I put the butter in. So that's about a tablespoon of butter. Then I'll ask the help from my son to help me hold my son here, my little son. I'll ask him to hold the camera for me. the phone. Yeah, could you hold that for me, little boy? Okay, just put it there. Okay, just focus. Okay, so now the butter's in. Give it a little mix. Okay. Imagine drinking that without emulsifying. So the key here is emulsification and mixing all the oils with the water or with the coffee. Next would be the MCT oil. For me, I prefer around, for this much coffee, I prefer around um, 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of MCT. Then for taste and for extra fluffiness of the froth, I go on to add 1 tablespoon of regular virgin coconut oil and mix that there. So here's an optional thing. As an option, I would add for taste unsweetened chocolate powder. Just so happens that what I have here is Goya. It's an unsweetened. It works fine. Alright, so I would add about, well, now, if you could imagine, without emulsifying or mixing it, you'll have that kind of coffee. Looks kind of yucky, you know? I don't know if you'll be able to tolerate that kind of coffee with all those fats and there's oils above. So, okay, that being said, I'll go on and add about or around at least, for me, as preference, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. Just give it a little mix. Okay, so with all the ingredients together, here comes the fun part. So the fun part, this is the fun part. This is the part when we actually do the actual frothing process. Okay, now this is without using a formal frother. Again, this is with the use of a French press. I find this process better. Of course, it takes some arm strength. It would give us a nice arm workout for the morning. Okay, before we go on with our daily activities. So here we go. I'll ask the help from my son just to hold on, just to put some weight on the French press. So just hold that there, my son. Okay, then here we go. It's a frothing process. So what I would typically do is just give it a gentle plunge up and down. Okay, like as such, before I go all out with the frothing. So just gently mix them together, the ingredients together, and now I start to vigorously plunge the French press up and down. Okay, then I go above the coffee just to get some air in and vigorously do that. Okay. Like I said, it takes a bit of arm strength. Get tiring, but the results will be worth it. If you're not, so the frothier you want it to be, the more air you would typically want to add in. So you have to go above the solution to get the bubbles. Okay, hold on to the camera, please. Hold on to the camera so I could, okay, and point it there. Okay. Okay, so. Okay, so here we go. So there you have it. And the next would be to pour all the ingredients into our cup. So here's a cup for aesthetic purposes. I use this a glass mason jar type of cup so that I could see the layers of the coffee. So, and just pour. Ooh. Okay. So there you go. A bulletproof coffee. You prepared without a frother and with the use of French press. So we have the froth up above, right? Nice and frothy, and the layer of coffee with unsweetened cocoa powder. Okay, here's the remaining. So I could use that. I could use the remaining coffee to share with someone else, or just consume the entire thing. Okay. So, good morning, everyone, and hope you found this mini instructional video helpful, and enjoy your bulletproof coffee. Hito on.